Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I just want to talk about this. I was out of the loop. Clearly, I had no idea this was even going on. This is a bizarre thing for me to hear as somebody who was a kid when Ninja Turtles first came out. This is just totally weird. What is this? Okay, so this is another article from Bounding Into Comics, and so the headline is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem director attempts to explain away gay Splinter. Gay Splinter. Paramount deletes evidence. By the way, this movie looks pretty crappy. Like every single possible villain they could possibly have, they've put in it. Every character. Mutant Mayhem director Jeff Rowe attempted to explain away gay Splinter while Paramount deleted the evidence. What? It was reported by YouTuber and movie reviewer Price of Reason that he believed the film depicted Splinter as gay after watching an early screening of the film. He stated, to add insult to injury, at the end of the movie, Splinter is seen making out with Scumbug and then professing his love for Scumbug, who he seemingly enters into a relationship with. Seriously, man?
It's hard to meet other mutants my age.
Now, that in and of itself is already out of character for Splinter, as we've known him for years, as it just doesn't seem like something he would do. But then later, after researching this character's posters for this movie, and also consulting with Tom from Midnight's Edge, I've come to the conclusion that they've decided to present Splinter in this movie as an LGBT character, a creative decision that I disagree with, since he's never been presented that way in the 40 years that the franchise has existed. Wasn't there one where he had like an afro? I thought one of the posters showed Splinter with an afro, but maybe I'm wrong. He then posted, now I'll admit that it was done in a somewhat ambiguous and quiet way. I also sense that with recent developments like companies like Target and Budweiser, this aspect of the movie seems to be toned down. And although initially there were a few places that posted posters for Scumbag presenting him as a male, they're not as widespread as some of the other posters we've seen online. But the poster does exist, and I believe that it's genuine. So I guess there's no way to interpret it. No other way, to interpret it. Make that what you will. The poster was indeed official, as can be seen in the tweet below from Paramount UK. One of the only Scumbag. I don't see how that... What am I missing here? Oh, himself. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I was looking at his face and stuff instead of... Okay. In an update in the comments section of his video, Price of Reason stated, people have been telling me that they just saw TMNT and somebody refers to Scumbag as she, and I wanted to address this. When I saw the early screening 5 days ago, to the best of my recollection, Scumbag's gender was not mentioned one way or another. Knowing his character was historically male, after I had left the theater, I looked at Paramount's official marketing for the movie. Their official movie character poster describes Scumbag as male, and this is still posted on their official social media platform. He continued, I find it hard to believe that a major studio that's invested $80 million in producing the movie and another $40 million in marketing it just mistakenly misgenders their character on official posters. I am pretty sure that with the $120 million on the line, the TMNT posters had to get the final approval from top executives before releasing them. Price of Reason then shared his theory as far as it went down. For whatever it's worth, this is what I believe may have happened. Perhaps this whole concept was initially meant to be more ambiguous in the movie itself, which Disney has done, right? Like in Star Wars and stuff, there's the very end of Rise of Skywalker, the two women kiss and stuff. It was toned down very recently, and perhaps they also inserted a last-minute overdub in the movie referring to Scumbag once as she in order to close any loophole that would potentially cause any backlash. He concluded, I want everybody here to know that I take these reviews very seriously and I would never want to mislead anybody. This whole Scumbag and Splinter relationship, if nothing else, it's very confusing, and I could only do a review based on the information I had available while making it. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your ongoing support of my channel. We are living in crazy times, and sometimes I myself question what's real and what's not. Paramount UK has since deleted the tweet featuring the Scumbag poster. Paramount is trying to cover up the evidence that they tried to make Splinter gay. What is going on? Not only did they delete the tweet... Wait, what's the tweet? Tweet is unavailable. So this tweet here is not available. Paramount is trying to cover up the evidence they tried to... Not only did it delete the tweet, but had the film's director Jeff Rowe provide one of the most bogus corporate statements to Slash Film, claiming it was all a marketing error. That was a marketing mistake. We were furious about it. They put that out. I don't know who did that or how that happened, but we were immediately like, that's not true. Don't put that in the world. And that will be will now be on the internet forever. But that was never the intention. That was never the character. We always imagined her to be female. I mean, I don't need Splinter to have any relationship. Like, if what Rose said is true, why was the poster up for over a month before it was deleted? Why was the poster only deleted after Price of Reason, Bounding into Comics, and others started reporting they made Splinter gay? And if he and Paramount always imagined Scumbag as a female, why was the character always being depicted as male in nearly every iteration of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before this one? Yes, he is male. That's just bizarre. But here's the bottom line, okay? Here's the bottom line. Here is the bottom line with this. Regardless, the fact that this even was thought about to me is ridiculous. You're talking about, like, I'm young enough to remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when it first came out. I was reading them as a kid when they all had the red headbands and everything else. So, the idea that Splinter that anyone was sitting there wondering who he was sleeping with. Like, nobody thought about that. Nobody was, like, watching Ninja Turtles and being like, ooh, wonder who Splinter's sleeping with. Yeah. So if these producers and writers are actually thinking on that level, what is wrong with them? Who thinks like that? Who is actually sitting there and wondering while they watch Ninja Turtles, who, like, is sex just all they think about all day, every day? That's all they think about? He's a giant rat who's like the dad of the turtles. He looks like a grandpa. And they're turtles. I mean, to some degree, you got, Michelangelo having a crush on April O'Neil, but you never were like, yeah, she's going to hit that. Her and Michelangelo the turtle. Like, no one was thinking about sex with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So who are these people? If they're thinking about that, they have got major, major mental problems. And I think you're talking about a giant, like, bug, like a giant potato bug and a human-sized old rat. How screwed up are these people? You guys tell me what you think in the comment section. I just think this is ridiculous. Whatever it is just so stupid, and they just can't stop themselves from just making everything about sexuality and gender and nonsense. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe and like if you like the content, and have a good day.